Yeah, that's the hope. But okay, well, that's what the guys have made of this evening's game against Sunderland. What has the manager made of it? Let's find out. It came from Arne Slot now.
Well, boss, what's your overriding emotion at the end of that game?
Not happy, of course, because you expect more if you play a home game against Sunderland. Although they've shown this season how difficult it is to play against them or to get a result against them. Only 4 times this season they've conceded more than 1 goal. So then you know that the biggest chance then you have to win is keep a clean sheet, and I think we did a lot to keep a clean sheet. I think they only had 1 big chance from a set piece that hit the post. For the rest we hardly gave away anything in terms of chances, big chances. And then a deflection of a shot of 20 yards, we went 1-0 down, and I liked our reaction because it's not easy to go again 1-0 down after again not conceding a lot. And we scored the 1-1, and I think afterwards we tried really hard. We got enough set pieces maybe to influence the game that way, but from one of those set pieces they were in the counter-attack very close to scoring the 2-1. So the positive to take is that games like this we've played quite a lot. Us having more chances than the other team, and we've mainly lost. Now we had a draw, but that's not a happy feeling.
Well, what were your thoughts at the break? It's not often we see you make a change at the half-time interval. Was that something that was planned, or was it something you felt you needed to change by bringing Mo on there?
Needed to change. The plan was always that, not, of course, you make changes, but 2 games in 3 days, 3 in 7. So you know players need sometimes you need to change them as well. And so I always knew I had to make changes today. But I think Cody struggled to dominate 1v1 situations, and so I thought, okay, we're going to play with a right winger and more of a midfielder on the left with Florian, who is also a player who can create in 1v1 situations. So that's why I made that decision.
You mentioned the goal, the fight back. You know, we predict then as fans watching it, don't we, that it will be same old Liverpool. We'll get our noses in front, and that is the positive, I suppose, that we've seen such great development from Florian Wirtz in recent weeks to get his goal. I know it wasn't credited to him, but that will be one of the positives you take away from tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think if there would have been a player that was involved in a goal for us, I think many of us thought it would be Florian today, because he was lively, he was getting the ball lots, teammates looked a lot for him. He was creative, although it wasn't easy against a team that either pressed us really high or went to a very, very low block, which is never easy, especially with the fighters they have, their centre-backs, Ballades, I think his name, I'm sure it's his name. He threw himself in every ball, headed away so many balls, and on the other hand, he's such a big threat in every long throw-in, in every long ball that the keeper played into our box. So yeah, good moment for Flo, that he I thought he had his goal, but that he was involved in a goal. That is also not an assist, I assume, if it's an own goal.
Yeah.
No, I assume
you
it
don't
is.
know these days, do you?
No.
Just finally, boss, the grit that you show. It's important not to lose a game when you can't win it. I know Chiesa has that intervention right at the end, but there is grit and determination in there where you go away with a point. Like you say, it's 2 less than you wanted, but still.
Yeah, of course it's far from ideal if you take a corner kick yourself and you bring the ball in the second phase, and then the goalkeeper saves the ball and you look up and there's one player completely open at the halfway line. But Fede showed, I think, where it's all about. Even if you think you cannot do anything anymore, just keep running, because Ali showed him around. That was just the time Fede needed to clear the ball off the line, and yeah, that was, I think, important for us, because if again after going 1-1 we would have lost this game after pushing so much yourself, which happened to United, against United, which happened so many times this season, that would have been a big blow, an even bigger blow. So to take a point is not something to be happy about, but it is more, of course, than losing.
The thoughts of Arne Slot there on tonight's game with Sunderland. Worth just reiterating the importance of that Chiesa intervention and what it demonstrated, a substitute fighting to the death to ensure we took something from the game. But also I think it's worth picking up the other point that Arne made, just the frustration, the fact that opportunity arose from our corner, because we were too gung-ho, we were too caught up in the moment. We have to have a bit of responsibility when we're attacking and trying to win games in the closing stage of the match. We've seen that a little bit too much of late.
This has to be organised at the back. Somebody has to do that. And even if Virgil's up there and trying to get... He's got to make sure somebody's back. Now, for Chiesa to do what he did was quite a... I don't know if you see the expression on his face when he sets off to try and help. He knows he's got to get back. And the effort, what he actually puts in, is commendable. And he gets there. And, of course, we don't know what's going to happen when he's going to go round, if he puts it the other side. But he did his job for the team. So I'm not saying that that's the be-all and end-all, but it shows an attitude. He could have gone, that wasn't down to me, and left it to somebody else.
But it's an example to others as well. That example to other players of what's required.
Yeah, and as the boss has just said there, throughout it, we didn't deserve to lose the game, and it would have been shameful. And I know everybody got Sunderland done this, done that. We had so much of the ball. Yes, we didn't do enough on it, but for us to have lost that, as we did with the Man United game, who we battered, by the way, and we should have won that game, but we ended up losing it. Now, I know what result I would rather have, the 1-1, rather than the 2-1 defeat as United gave us.
We're just going back to, I know you're trying to push to get the win, and we've done that a few times last season and ended up getting over the line and winning games. But there are occasions where you've got to say, you know what, 1-1's not the worst result that we're going to have. Yeah. Make sure defensively we're nice and solid, and someone should have been detailed to sit back there when we've got all our big players forward. The two centre-halves are inside the box. Goalkeeper gets it. Give credit to the goalkeeper. His vision and awareness to see his teammate downfield was absolutely brilliant.
Fair play to Isidor.
Yeah, absolutely
Fair
brilliant.
Play
but all credit to Chiesa to get back, because when he sees him running away, he might have thought, I'm not going to get there. I'm just not going to get there. What's the point? But he just kept going, and he was just hoping he could do something to help his teammates out. He goes past Ali, and then it's on target, and he does just have enough to keep it out.
The two of them did what they should do. Yeah. Chiesa and Jones did exactly what you should do. Curtis made that intervention for our goal, and you've got Chiesa saving that one at the other end.
Great distribution from the goalkeeper, Robin Roos. He's actually got really good stats for long passing accuracy, and it was demonstrated there in space, because that was a great bit of vision, but brilliant execution as well, and it only took that brilliant bit of effort and endeavour from Chiesa to prevent it being a Sunderland goal. We touched on the fact that it's Leeds next up for Liverpool this weekend. Let's just underline what is happening across the division, across the course of the next round of fixtures, just to see how the picture may change for the Reds over the course of Saturday, Sunday and Monday. The next round of games begins Saturday lunchtime. It's actually a pretty big game now. It is third against first, as Aston Villa host Arsenal in the early kick-off. Bournemouth play Chelsea. It's Everton, Nottingham Forest, Man City, Sunderland, Newcastle, Burnley, Spurs, Brentford. Then our game at 5:30 at Ellen Road. Two games on Sunday. This is Brighton take on West Ham, and it's Fulham Crystal Palace. One game next week on the Monday night fixture. That is Wolves against Manchester United. Yeah, Leeds for us, as we touched on. A big win for them this evening, as we've mentioned. But prior to that, the results had not been going well. Daniel Farke was under increasing pressure at different times through the course of this season. In fact, before a ball was kicked, he's been under pressure. A lot of question marks about him. But that just underlines how important those 3 points could be this evening, and how much it might lift them for our visit, Ray.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at that run of results that they've been on, there's a lot of losses there, isn't there? Just the 3 wins, 1 draw, and a lot of losses there. But we were talking about, is there one game recently that can change Liverpool's fortunes and start, picking up as far as points are concerned and getting higher up the league? Well, Leeds might see that tonight. That was a big win, because a lot of people have been talking Chelsea up, in recent times. They've got the draw against Arsenal. People are saying about Chelsea, they might come with a late run in the second half of the season, get closer to Arsenal, to Manchester City. And Leeds have got out and got a really good victory tonight, which will buoy them up for the game against Liverpool on Saturday at 5:30.
The Chelsea game was going to be a big game for them, as will And this is what you come into the Premier League for. This is what their fans will be up for. And Chelsea's one thing, but Liverpool's a different one. Because of our history, both clubs, this is going to be massive. Ray alluded to it before. It can rock Ellen Road. It can rock and make it difficult. It's one of the really old sort of football league grounds when you go, wow, and it's a proper place and a tough place to go. A bit like over the road at Goodison Park. And they're going to make it very, very difficult. And they will sit back. They will watch that game, what happened tonight. That will give them confidence.
What do you make of the fact that Daniel Farke kind of continues to have these little spells where people question him and start... Yeah.
And it's gone on before, hasn't it? When he came in at Norwich, he had such a good run, and you thought, oh well, he did. But as soon as then you sort of have a little bit of a tough time, straight away, oh, we need something different. And you were quite right. Excuse me. People were talking about at the start of the season, oh, he's had a hard time before with other clubs, and maybe Leeds should change him. They're putting doubt in his mind, they're putting doubt in the player's mind, in the hierarchy. Just give him a little bit of a confidence, give him the backing. He's proved that he's a good manager.
Well, that's it. It's amazing how people's perceptions can change depending on the division in front of them, because he had 3 promotions from the Championship, 2 with Norwich, 1 with Leeds. That's no small feat in how competitive that division is, especially in the last 4, 5, 6 years.
It's amazing when people see a manager come into the Premier League and straight away they doubt his qualities and whether he's capable of taking the club forward. But I would say the second half against Man City and the win tonight will prove some of the doubters wrong. I think the fans will certainly be behind him now going into the next phases of matches, starting with Liverpool at the weekend and whatever they've got upcoming after that. And it's important you have the support. You need the fan base to be behind the team and the manager. He's going to make decisions, rightly or wrongly. He's going to play a certain 11. He's going to take players off, going to bring players on, and he has to have that confidence that the fans believe in what he's doing. And if they're always questioning him and there's always doubts, then that leads to Phil being in enough as a player and as a coach. When you're in there in the changing room with players, things aren't going well, they'll all start talking and everything's not right and that's not right, he's not doing this, training's not going in the right way, and there's all these little doubts that come into the players' minds.